Look at my gloves! I have been looking for these for 6 years and I have finally found them. How cool is that? I love my gloves. Finally got them back. Welcome everybody. Hello, my name is Sinkara and today I'm here to show you a very awesome deck. We have a Cyber Dragon deck built using only 3 of the Cyber Strike Structure deck. If you don't know already, the Cyber Strike Structure deck is the deck we have been going over for the past month, reviewing, building decks out of it. Last week we built a Cyber Dark deck. This week it's a Cyber Dragon specific deck. This deck is made to summon Cyber End Dragon over and over again, and it's pretty awesome, inspired very much by the Kaiser himself. So I think this deck is pretty awesome. Definitely not as good as the Cyber Dark deck, but if you like Cyber Dragons over Cyber Darks, then this deck actually works quite well. Now at the end I'll show you a 2-card combo to get out Cyber End Dragon with just 2 cards in 1 turn, which is really awesome, and it sets you up for a bunch of other fusion summons as well. So without further ado, let's get into this deck profile. Okay, so starting off, of course, we have 3 Cyber Dragons. This is the main card of the deck, and has got 2100 attack points, which is pretty awesome, and can be special summoned if only your opponent controls a monster. So he's pretty awesome, and he's the main fusion material for the fusions that we're going to summon with this deck. So 3 Cyber Dragons. Next we got 3 Cyber Dragon Core. This guy is also very awesome. I'll go over what he does in a minute as I just finish off the Cyber Dragon engine. We have 3 Cyber Dragon Hers, and finishing off with 1 Cyber Dragon Nashter. So, I think that's how that's pronounced, Nashter, I don't know, but this is our Cyber Dragon engine, so 3 Cyber Dragons. All of these Cyber Dragons are treated as Cyber Dragon while on the field or graveyard, so their names get treated as Cyber Dragon. As for their individual effects, Cyber Dragon Core is definitely the most important one. He is necessary for the 2-card combo, and he's just brilliant overall for adding any cyber spell or trap from our deck to the hand, which is obviously really important. Cyber Dragon Hers, however, most of his effects aren't that good. What we're looking for, however, is his final effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except for himself. So that's pretty awesome, and it helps you search out Cyber Dragons from your deck, getting more and more fusion materials. With these 2, it's very easy to get all 3 Cyber Dragons ready to go for the summon of Cyber End. So that's fantastic, and of course all of them count towards Chimeric Over Dragon as well. And finally, Cyber Dragon Nashter can bring a Cyber Dragon back from the graveyard, and his name is treated as Cyber Dragon. So that's the Cyber Dragon engine. Next we go into our Cyber Darks. Now we're not running many Cyber Darks because of course this is a Cyber Dragon deck, right? It's specifically not a Cyber Dark deck, even though that is the point of Cyber Strike, but not the point here. But we do run some Cyber Darks. We do run a small Cyber Dark engine just to really help get our combos going. So we've got the most important one, Cyber Dark Chimera. This guy is mainly here for his effect to add Power Bond from your deck to your hand, which is pretty awesome, and he also sends extra Cyber Darks to the graveyard when he's sent to the graveyard, but it's mainly for his Power Bond adding effect, as well as his secondary effect, which allows you to use monsters from your graveyard to fusion summon things. Whether you're using Cyberload Fusion, Power Bond, whatever, you can banish stuff from the graveyard instead, or as well. Next up we have 2 Cyber Dark Claw. This guy will add any of your Cyber Dark spell and traps to the hand, so he's pretty useful. Good to have 2 of him. And finishing off with 1 Cyber Dark Cannon. Since we're not really running Cyber Darks in the deck, Cyber Dark Cannon is only able to grab Cyber Dark Chimera, and we don't really need Chimera in the hand. Well, sorry, we do need Chimera in the hand, but we have other better ways to do that, but Cannon is just an additional way to get him out there and to just really search for our deck. Also, we have 5 Cyber Darks, which means we are able to summon Cyber Darkness Dragon. So that's actually all there is for the monsters. Just 15 monsters, very simple, very straightforward. It's just Cyber Dragon everything with a small Cyber Dark engine. So that's all there is, 15 monsters, and we got 20 spells and 5 traps. So all in all, a pretty good lineup. A pretty good ratio, I should say, which is really nice to just get our cards out faster. So now for the spells, we got our Cyber Spells, 3 Cyber Emergency. This card will add any Cyber Dragon monster from your deck to your hand, so that's pretty awesome. Cyber Repair Plant basically does the same thing, but not quite as good, so we only have 2 of them. And that's it for the cyber-specific spells. Next we got our Cyber Dark spells, so we have 3 Cybernetic Horizon. This card is really good in this deck, in that it just dumps your Cyber Dragons from the graveyard and adds more Cyber Darks to your hand, so you can keep adding more and more Cyber Dragons. this really helps you get to your Cyber Dragons and just get them on your hand or graveyard, and to just really get the materials going for your fusion summons. So Cybernetic Horizon is really, really good in this case. And finishing off, we have 2 Cyber Dark Realm. This card will add a Cyber Dark from our deck to the hand, usually Chimera or Cannon to add Chimera, and it will allow us an extra normal summon of a Cyber Dark, which is pretty good as well, and important for the 2-card combo. That's it for the Cyber Darks. Next we're getting into the more generic stuff. So for our fusion spells, we run 2 Power Bond. I don't run 3 because it just clogs up a bit much, and we really want 2 Overload Fusion because we get stuff in the graveyard a lot. This will allow us to summon Cyber Darkness, Cyber Dark End, and Chimera Tech Over Dragon, which is most important. And finishing off combos well with Overload Fusion and Chimera, we have Cyberload Fusion. This card's pretty awesome. It lets you conduct a fusion summon using your banished monsters, which we do get quite a lot of with this deck. So that's it for the fusion spells. We got 5 of them. Very easy, nice and simple. Just do whatever you can to bust out some fusions. Finally, we got a Cyber Eternal, single Cyber Eternal. This card is actually quite useful in this deck, considering that the point of this deck is to bust out Cyber End, as well as any of the other fusion monsters that we have. Cyber Eternal can be very useful in actually just reborning those monsters, or sending them back to the extra deck to summon with one of your fusions. So Cyber Eternal, pretty awesome. Quick play spell, we love this card. This card's absolute beast. Next up we got Machine Duplication. If you don't know already, Machine Duplication is a freaking awesome card in Cyber Dragons. So with this card, especially in this deck, all the Cyber Dragons we run have 500 or less attack. Core, Hers, and Nashta all have less than 500 attack, which is awesome. So if you have any of these on the field, you can use Machine Duplication to immediately summon 2 of the original Cyber Dragon, because their names are all treated as Cyber Dragons. So that's a little trick there. If you didn't know that already, I would hope you do by now, but if you didn't, now you do. So that's awesome. That's why we run Machine Duplication, and it's really good in Cyber Dragons. Finally, to finish off the spells, we have 3 Limiter Removal. This will just double the attack points of all machines on the field, allowing for easy OTK, especially if you have a Power Bond summoned Cyber End Dragon. That'll boost them up to 16,000 and can deal piercing battle damage. So, I think that's all you need, really. That's why we run 3 Limiter Removal, easy OTK. Limiter Removal is a fantastic card for machines. Wrapping up with our traps, it's very simple. We have a Cybernetic Revolution. This card is awesome, allows us to bust out Cyber End Dragon using only 1 monster, which is great. Cybernetic Overflow can just clear the field, as well as banishes a bunch of Cyber Dragons for the use of Cyberload Fusion later. And finally, we have, of course, 3 Infinite Impermanents. I don't need to explain that one. Awesome, so that's the deck profile. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. All you really want to do is bust out your Cyber End Dragon. I'll just briefly go over the extra deck. I shouldn't need to. This deck, like I said last time, the structure deck comes with 5 fusion monsters. 3 times 5 is 15. How many cards in the extra deck? 15. There you go, nice and easy. Just a note that you won't actually be able to summon Cyber Dark Dragon. However, he does still have uses in order to bust out Cyber Dark End. If we send Cyber Dark to the graveyard, then we can use Overload Fusion to get out Cyber Dark End Dragon as well. We won't really go for that. It's not our go-to move. Cyber Dark End isn't that fantastic. I would rather have 2 big boys out, like any of these guys out, and multiple of them. But that is an option if we really want to. We can do that. Awesome, that's the extra deck. Now I'll just go over the 2-card combo to summon Cyber End Dragon in 1 turn. It's pretty awesome. It's very similar to the combo that we had last time. So here are the cards that you'll need. Now, unfortunately, the options are a bit thin for this. You do need a Cyber Dragon Core, as well as any one of these, Cyber Dark Realm or Cybernetic Horizon. Either way works, but it's not as open as the Cyber Dark combo. But it still works out quite well and is easy enough. These cards, you're very likely to get 1 of each in your hand. It's not that unlikely. We run 3 of this, we run 3 of this, 2 of this. It's very easy, and you have a bunch of cards that can search it. Unfortunately, Cyber Emergency isn't really an option unless you have a Cyber Dragon already in your graveyard, in which case you can go for Cyber Repair Plant, but we will need to go for Emergency with Cyber Dragon Core. Or Repair Plant if you have a Cyber Dragon already in your graveyard. But we're assuming first turn, in which case we won't have one of those. So I'm going to start off with the usual combo will be these two in the hand, plus you also need one other spell or trap. It does not matter which one, we'll just use Infinite Impermanence for this demonstration. Okay, so this is the basic strategy. We're starting off with these three cards. Cybernetic Horizon can be substituted for a Cyber Dark Realm as well, and it basically just goes like this. So to start things off, you're going to summon your Cyber Dragon Core. Now with his effect, when he's summoned, you can add a Cyber Spell or Trap from your deck to hand. We're going to grab Cyber Emergency. Next we're going to activate Cyber Emergency. This will allow you to add a Cyber Dragon card from the deck to the hand. You're going to go for Cyber Dragon Hers. This goes to the graveyard. Next up, you activate Cybernetic Horizon. Now another option, this is where you would also activate Cyber Dark Realm, in which case you'll go for a Cyber Dark Claw and then go into Horizon and continue basically the same way. But we're going to go for Horizon. We're going to activate Horizon, discarding our Cyber Dragon Hers from the hand and sending Cyber Dark Chimera from the deck to the graveyard. This will then allow us to add Cyber Dark Claw from our deck to the hand. Also, it allows us to send a extra deck monster from the deck to the graveyard. Now, you can go for Cyber Dark Dragon if you're planning to summon Cyber Dark End at some point. If you're really set up for that, then you can go for Cyber Dark, but I would rather go for Cyber End Dragon, because this will also set up our Cyber Darkness Dragon, who can then equip Cyber End Dragon. And I would rather a 6,000 point monster with a negate than a Cyber Dark End Dragon. That's just me personally. So we're going to send Cyber End Dragon instead. And that goes to when that's all resolved, the effect of Cyber Dragon Hers and Cyber Dark Chimera activates. So first of all, Cyber Dragon Hers will allow us to add a Cyber Dragon from the deck to the hand, and then Cyber Dark Chimera will allow us to send a Cyber Dark from the deck to the graveyard, that being our second Cyber Dark Claw. Alright, next up, you're going to activate the effect of Cyber Dark Claw, sending him to the graveyard, and adding Cyber Dark Realm to the hand. Activate Cyber Dark Realm, adding Cyber Dark Cannon to the hand. Then with Cannon's effect, discard Cannon to add Cyber Dark Chimera to your hand. You can skip the Cannon effect if he's already in your hand or graveyard or whatever, but then just go straight for a Chimera with Realm. Alright, finally, Cyber Dark Realm gives us an extra normal summon. Summon Cyber Dark Chimera, use his effect, discard a spell or trap, and add Power Bond from your deck to your hand. And then finally, activate Power Bond using the Cyber Dragon in your hand with the Cyber Dragon on your field, and finally, using the effect of Chimera, you can fuse the Cyber Dragon in your graveyard. Fuse all three of these together, summon an 8,000 point Cyber End Dragon. That's 8,000 attack points with piercing battle damage. He's a pretty beastie boy. Just note that you will take 4,000 points of damage during the end phase, but that's hardly important when you have this big bad boy on the field. Now, if you also have an Overload Fusion in your hand, now is the time to activate that. Fusing together, you've got two options now. So your first option is to fuse your 5 Cyber Darks from the graveyard and from the field. If you fuse these 5 together, then you go straight into Cyber Darkness Dragon, who can then equip the Cyber End Dragon from your graveyard. This will give him 4,000 extra attack points, putting him on 6,000 attack, and will also allow him to negate one effect by sending the Cyber End back to the graveyard. However, if they don't have any effects or face down cards that can stop your attacking, then another option, especially if your opponent has monsters on the field, you can use your Overload Fusion to fuse every machine type monster on your field and in your graveyard, including a Cyber Dragon. So fuse your Cyber Dragon, Cyber Dark Chimera, second Cyber Dark Chimera, Cyber Dragon Hers, Cyber End from the graveyard, not the field, and finally your Cyber Dragon Core. This will allow you to summon Chimera Tech Over Dragon with 4,800 attack points, and he'll be able to attack 6 monsters your opponent controls. Considering that your opponent can only control 6 monsters, or 7, which is very unlikely, this guy can attack all of your opponent's monsters once each, and then attack directly for 8,000. So, it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty good card to go for, but he doesn't have negates, so yeah. but now your graveyard is also set up for another Chimera Tech Overdragon if you had Cyberload Fusion in your hand as well, and this happens a lot. I do it a lot, like this is my main combo. Then you can go Cyberload Fusion, fuse everything in your graveyard, and summon a second Chimera Tech Overdragon, which is pretty freaking awesome to bust out 2 of these bad boys, I gotta tell ya. Now, just a note that Cyberload Fusion won't work with your banished Cyber Dragon monsters except for Cyber Dragon himself. So that's the deck, basically. That's really all there is to it, is just bust out your Cyber End Dragon multiple times. Really just go for any fusion summon that you can do. That's the key point of this deck, and then of course you've got your big Cyber Dragons, your regular Cyber Dragons. 2100 attack, easy to summon, they're pretty good as well. So yeah, that's the basics of this deck. That has been my Cyber Dragon deck using 3 of the Cyber Strike structured decks. So $30 deck, nice and cheap, and is it good? Yeah, it's pretty good. What's good about this is that that 2-card combo is only one of the options that you have. You may not be able to pull that combo off specifically, but there are so many other options with this deck to always just get out your Cyber End Dragon, alright? This is just the easiest and best way to do it. It's just the easiest way to do it, honestly, but there are so many other ways to do it with a bunch more cards. You can do all sorts of things to easily get out Cyber End, as well as other fusion monsters, as well as that. At the same time, it's very likely that you'll get multiple on the field at once, which is just... it's really awesome. This deck actually works surprisingly well. Now, in a couple days, we're going to be doing a drawing of Cyber End Dragon. If you want to see that, that's pretty awesome. And then next week, we'll go over some different cards to add to the Cyber Strike deck that aren't already in the deck that I think work really well with Cyber Dark. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. It's going to be pretty awesome, and definitely don't want to miss it. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. Test out this deck for yourself, let me know how it goes, and comment down below just anything. Just say hi, it helps out the channel, okay? Like, comment, helps me out a lot. Subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name has been Sin Cara, and until next time, see ya.